Who are these autonomy question and answers aimed at?
These are primarily aimed for SAS doctors, their employers, and of course the other colleagues. It is for those who have been involved in delivering high quality independent service and they find probably an impediment to it at the present time, or those who aspire to give that sort of service and do not know the way forward.
Why did Sachs decide to create this guidance?
We have had a lot of doctors already in this role for quite a while. But quite lately, in view of the reorganizations that have been happening in the workplace, more and more of them are coming under pressure from misinformed employers or colleagues that they should stop delivering this on autonomous practice. So there have been a lot of queries from SAS doctors about what is the legal basis for these doctors, what is the regulatory framework which allows these doctors to practice autonomously. And in fact, some of the trust employers have wanted to know whether actually can these doctors practice autonomously. And that was the reason we came up with this sort of guidance.
And what do other organisations say about SAS doctors working autonomously?
The first thing is, let's start with our terms and conditions of service. Our terms and conditions of service acknowledge that SAS doctors, when they reach a particular level in terms of hierarchy, they should be allowed to work autonomously, independently. So the terms and conditions acknowledge it. The GMC says there's no legal impediment. They say your not being on the specialist register should not stop you from practicing autonomously. As long as this is something that applies to everyone. Everyone works within the limitations of their competence. And then we have checked with the Department of Health, we have checked with the NHS Information Service, we have checked with the Health and Social Care Information Care Systems. We have checked everywhere. There is no organized body which says that SAS doctors cannot practice independently.
So how many SAS doctors are working autonomously?
I mean, there's a large proportion of them who work autonomously. The figures are difficult to ascertain because not many of them report it officially to us because they are worried that they may lose that opportunity to practice. Because that's one of the things for us, where we try to assert our right to do something, we find that that we run into a bit of problems. But then quite lately, like I said, in view of the reorganization, more and more doctors are coming under pressure. And then there are a large group of doctors who, within this heterogeneous group of all called SAS doctors, there is a large group who are now coming up to a level where they believe they can practice independently. They want to do it and they don't know how to do it, to go about doing it.
So you're personally meeting lots of SAS doctors who work autonomously?
This happens on a regular basis. I mean, I work independently. I have my own clinics. I operate on my own patients and I follow them up till discharge. But it is still called a finished consultant episode. That's fine. But I practice independently. I'm involved with teaching. I teach students, medical students. I teach my junior doctors. My co-chair, Amit Kochar, he does the same. There is a large proportion of these doctors who do it. The only thing is they have not been getting formal recognition, and our agenda has been that we need to get formal recognition for the things that we have been doing all these decades.
And can you tell me what the problems are with hospital coding of patients?
One of the things that happens is that IT systems are still in the dark ages. All activity is coded against consultants. So the consultant may not be present in the clinic or in the theatre, but by default, every activity that every doctor performs in the healthcare system, that's the NHS now, is coded against a consultant. And there is no way for us in this day of revalidation where everyone has to be accountable for the actions that they do or the inaction. There is no way for us to be held accountable. So we say that it is very important that activity is coded to the individual who performs that activity, and that has benefits for the number one for the individual because they are able to demonstrate the value that they bring to the service by the work that they do, and for the employer they know where they can invest more to get better returns. And I think it's a win-win situation. There is no excuse not to go in for a modern system of coding where SAS doctors get their due.
Thank you very much.